Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into something pretty fascinating, a claim that sits right where technology and wellness meet.
So, here's the big question. Can a simple patch that you stick on your skin actually help with the symptoms of Parkinson's disease? I mean, it sounds pretty wild, right? A patch for such a complex condition? Well, that's exactly the claim we're going to break down today.
Okay, so full disclosure, this whole idea comes from one specific article we found. Our job here isn't to say if it's right or wrong. We're just going to walk through what the article claims step by step so you can see the information for yourself.
All right, first things first. To really get what's going on, we need a quick refresher on Parkinson's itself.
So, according to the article, Parkinson's is what's called a progressive neurodegenerative disorder. And what does that mean? Basically, it's about the loss of specific brain cells, the ones that produce dopamine. And dopamine is super important. It's like the messenger that helps your brain control your body's movements. You got to remember that piece, because everything else we talk about is built on this idea. Okay, so let's get into what the source says about the day-to-day reality of living with these symptoms. You know, the article splits the symptoms into two big buckets. On one side, you have the motor symptoms, the stuff that affects your movement and physical control. But then there's this whole other side, the non-motor symptoms. These are the ones you can't always see, things like mood and sleep, but they can be just as tough to deal with.
So diving into those motor symptoms, the article lists things you might expect. Tremors, in the hands and fingers, muscle rigidity, and this thing called bradykinesia, which is really just a technical term for slowness of movement. All of this, of course, creates major issues with balance, coordination, and just walking around.
But like we said, it's not just about movement. The article really emphasizes the non-motor side of things. We're talking about anxiety, depression, serious sleep problems, and even cognitive issues like trouble concentrating. So it paints this picture of a condition that affects the whole person, way beyond what you can see on the surface.
Okay, so that's the problem as the article lays it out. So what's the proposed solution? Well, it all comes down to this idea of Vibrotactile technology.
You're probably wondering, how on earth can a sticker do anything for this? Well, the article says it's not a drug, it's not delivering any chemicals. Instead, it's all about patterns. The patch has this unique ridged texture on it. Think of it like a QR code for your nervous system. The idea is, when you stick it on your skin, that pattern sends a specific signal up through your nerves straight to your brain. It's supposed to be like a special message that helps your brain function a little better.
So how does this technology actually get used? Let's look at the specific patches the article talks about. First up is the Liberty Mobility Patch. And yeah, just like the name says, this one is all about targeting those motor symptoms we just covered.
And look how directly these claimed benefits line up with the problems. The article says it can help improve balance and stability, make walking easier, and even reduce some of that muscle rigidity. It's positioned as a direct response to those physical challenges.
All right, so that's the physical side. What about the non-motor stuff? For that, the article brings up the Peace Stress Patch.
This one is all about tackling things like anxiety and stress. The goal is to help with emotional regulation and just create a feeling of calm. But what's really interesting is the connection the article makes. It suggests that since stress can make tremors worse, reducing that stress could also help calm the tremors down. It's like this potential positive cycle.
So the article doesn't just stop at one or the other. It actually talks about using them together to create a whole support system.
And this is where it all comes together. The idea is that if you use the Liberty Patch for physical stability and the Peace Patch for emotional calm, you get this combined benefit. The ultimate goal, as presented in the article, is to help someone feel more in control and increase their own autonomy. And it doesn't even stop there. The article also mentions a few other patches in their lineup. There's one for pain called Freedom, one for sleep called REM, and others for energy and mood. It's like they're suggesting you can build a customized toolkit to support these different related challenges.
So after laying all this out, the article points you to one place if you want to learn more or even try it out. It directs readers to the website stamina.superpatch.com. That's stamina.superpatch.com. And it also mentions that they offer a 25% discount on your first order.
Okay, but before we wrap this up, there is one last thing from the article that is absolutely crucial to talk about. Seriously, this might be the most important part of the whole piece.
And here it is, a direct quote from the source itself. It says, "This information is just for informative purposes and is not a medical recommendation." It specifically says you should talk to a health professional before trying anything. So the big takeaway here is that even the article presenting this technology makes it super clear. This is not a cure, it's not a replacement for a doctor's advice. It's positioned as a potential complementary tool. And that's a really important distinction to end on.